We start with developing news this morning. We take you live to Washington, D.C., where reaction is pouring in both here and around the country to President Trump's Oval Office speech on immigration and the government shutdown. The president declaring a crisis at the border and renewing his push for funding in that speech.
All Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration. It strains public resources and drives down jobs and wages.
Looking ahead, the president will meet with congressional leaders on Capitol Hill at the White House again today. This, of course, as the government shutdown nears the 3-week mark. Our national correspondent, Christine Frizzau, is in the nation's capital this morning with more on how lawmakers are responding to the president's address.
One of the initial reactions we're seeing here this morning is we may be no closer to a deal today than we were a couple weeks ago. In fact, in the eyes of some, both sides in this contentious debate last night may have dug their heels in even more.
This is a choice between right and wrong, justice and injustice.
President Trump raising the stakes to get funding for the wall along the southern border after his first primetime Oval Office address, calling it a matter of life and death.
All Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration. It strains public resources and drives down jobs and wages.
But in a rebuttal from the Capitol, Democrats claim the president is spewing misinformation and malice.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis, and must reopen the government.
President Trump has appealed to fear, not facts, division, not unity.
And as they take up the debate again today, millions wait and worry.
He didn't talk about the small business owners who can't get loans. He didn't talk about the people who are working the front lines at the airport to protect our security who aren't getting paid.
President Trump and Vice President.
Well, coming up, we will have continuing coverage of President Trump's speech. In less than an hour, we'll have a live report from Washington, D.C. with both insight and reaction to the president's message. We do have another live look at the Capitol, or I'm sorry, at the White House behind me. We're reaching out to local lawmakers who are in D.C. for their responses to the president's speech. So far, we have only heard back from one of those delegates, Senator Mike Crapo, saying, quote, "I'm confident that as negotiations between the White House and Congress continue, an agreement can be reached." We'll be sure to bring you some additional comments and statements from the other congressional delegates as they come into our newsroom this morning.